Welcome back. I'm Stephanie and welcome to Building Your Path to Success. On this channel, I share lots of information in short periods of time for both high school and college students to learn how to make a more meaningful resume. If you like this type of information, please push the like button, give me a thumbs up, share and subscribe. Ring that notification bell. Today is a special day. We have a guest speaker joining us. So let's jump right into it and get a better perspective of why internships, co-ops are important. So right now I'm going to introduce to you Lana. Lana, do you want to introduce yourself and what college you attend?
Sure. Hi, I'm Lana. I am a senior here at Cheney University, which is the first HBCU. And it's a historical Black college university for those who don't know. I major in business administration with a focus in management, and I minor in hospitality.
Okay, that's a lot. So you have a lot going on. So you have a major and a minor. You have a lot of things combined there. And that's another good point to bring out. You have your major, and then you have your other interests that you can kind of focus in on and pull into it.
Yeah.
When you started off, was that how you started off, or did you add something along the way into your major?
So I did start with business, and I decided I wanted to do business when I did a internship in my senior year of high school. And I was like, oh, well, this is for me. Because at first I wanted to do psychology. I had no good reason. I just wanted to do it for some reason. And then once I came to college, one of my advisors, actually, who was, at least at the time, the head of the department, said, well, how about you add this? It will kind of complement your major since you're management, but with more focus on hospitality. So that is hotel, restaurant, and tourism management. And I thought, why not? So I added it.
Okay, so there is flexibility, and sometimes you find something that you didn't think you liked and you fall into it by trying something new. So what our focus is really trying to encourage students to go into internships. The college degree is nice, but sometimes that alone does not really place you or position you where you want to be. Can you share with us, looking back, hindsight is always 2020. Looking back, is there anything that you did in high school that really helped to prepare you to apply for internships, especially during your freshman year of college?
I would say yes. I did intern again in high school my senior year. I actually interned in my end of my junior year as well at the airport. And then after that, I did kind of like a whole year internship with a real estate company. It was pretty interesting. I think I learned a lot there, especially when applying for internships in college, because even though as a freshman or a sophomore or a junior, when you're applying, they don't tend to put a lot of emphasis on your resume because they know sometimes a lot of them would not have no previous experience. But in my freshman year, I actually applied to Comcast, and they looked at my resume and said, wow, you actually did an internship before this. And it was something that's pertaining to what I applied for. And even though they did have other juniors and seniors apply to the same internship, they had different slots with different parts of the company. But the one I was applying to, my boss did mention later, I actually had juniors who applied or sophomores, and you actually got it because some of these people, even though they are in higher grades, or I guess, yeah, they did not have the same experience as you. So that was one of the big reasons why she did hire me. And after that, I think it just kind of builds up on that when other people look at my resume, they're like, oh, especially in the pandemic, oh, you've worked here, you've done this, and you have experience using these platforms. And it kind of helps bolster you to apply to when you apply to other internships. They look at that and say, oh, okay, well, this person have more experience than the other person. And experience does matter. And even sometimes company names do matter. So sometimes if I say, oh, I work at Comcast, and people are like, oh, wow, and then you did that your freshman year. And I got that internship when I was 17 years old because I did come to college a year early. And so I do think it's very important. And I think having those experiences helps you as you go in your career.
So, wow, that was a lot. So your internship at the airport in high school gave you some hands-on experience. And then you did another internship for a year after that. So you learned some skills and you were able to build your resume by doing those internships. So when it came time for you to be at college and apply for internships as a freshman, you already had a resume that you had started building some meaningful opportunities on. So when you applied for Comcast, in your freshman year, was that the only internship did you apply for? Did you apply for a few? And did you, what's the timeline? Do you apply in the fall, the winter, or during spring break? Do you wait until the end of the year during spring break to apply?
No, usually a lot of companies do start recruiting in the fall. So once the summer court kind of move past, and sometimes some people do get offers to come back, they start recruiting for the positions that are open. And if you wait till summer, like, not saying there won't be opportunities, but it's kind of hard to find good opportunities as you go. And it's easier to kind of start applying early because I applied for multiple and I was in different programs. But I would say out of the maybe 20 I applied for, I only ended up getting two. And again, I was a freshman, so I wasn't expecting to get any. One of them was Comcast, like I said. I got it through a program called Inroads that I learned about in high school, but I did receive an email as well in college. So it was easier to say, okay, I know this and I'm going to go through this program. And that's how I got that internship. Another internship I did receive was at Yellowstone, was in Terra Travel Collection. And I attended a conference with my minor that year in Atlanta. So I interviewed for that company. Again, those companies, especially in hospitality, they will tend to start recruiting once you're a junior or senior. But I ended up being lucky and actually having that internship, and it was in Yellowstone. Even though I chose to stay in the city due to, I guess, and my other internship more aligning with what I wanted to do in life. But I did also get that internship as well.
So it was good. And the point I want to make is for students out there, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I heard you say you applied for 20, which is a lot of work. It's not like each application can be several pages and there's a lot of work and they want to know about your credits, maybe your GPA. So getting 2 is still impressive in your freshman year because you're competing against people who have more credits than you, which means they have more detailed or specialized classes that you haven't worked your way up to yet because you're taking the prerequisites basically in your freshman year. So you applied and then you had the option to say no to one, but if you didn't get to any of them, at least you would have had one. If so you had the opportunity to pick. Did your GPA ever play a part of you applying? Did some internships say that you have to have a certain GPA?
A lot of them did, especially being a business student. Some will ask, typically they ask for about a 3.0, but some will even ask for a 3.2 or even a 3.5, depending what you're applying to and how prestigious that program is. But most of the ones I did apply to was their recommendation was that you had a 3.0.
Okay. And if you could just share with people, you may not want to tell them where you're going, but what year you're in right now, and it could be very vague about your career path right now.
I am a senior, and again, I think conferences are important for those who don't know. I go into those conferences, whether or not you do receive opportunities, it's easier to kind of navigate through that the next year you do go once you make those connections the previous year, because you tend to meet people and talk to them, and then they do remember you. And if you do connect with them with LinkedIn as well, they will remember you and say, oh, well, I met you last year. I know you were looking for something. You're very interesting. And they present you opportunities. So I do have a full-time job after graduation. I will be moving to another state. I will be doing kind of a training for a year, but I'll be working in consulting. And I got that again through a conference I attended.
So then thank you for bringing it up. We do talk about conferences on here. So I do try to let people know when conferences are coming up, different ones, although I'm not the guru on conferences, but I make it important. I try to tell people to go attend conferences, leadership programs, even though that may not be major specific. But yeah, so the point I want to talk about here is that you did several internships and attended conferences, and now you have not graduated yet. Is that correct?
Yeah.
He has not graduated yet, and he has already, I guess usually you just sign a contract. He knows that he's going to be going to another state and to his career path, not just a job, not coming out and floundering, but has a career lined up. They're waiting for him by a specific date to be moved in, and ready to work. So that's all impressive. That's really all I needed to talk about, unless you have anything you want to add.
I would say for college, or students who are going to college, even if you're in high school, a lot of people don't think about internships because they do tend to go to college and think, oh, I didn't know that, or just hear about it when they do get to college. But I think it's important to kind of find that if you can and apply for scholarships, because when I was in high school, I applied for a ton of scholarships, even though I may not have received half of them. The other half did help me with my freshman year before I received the scholarship that kind of covers it all. My entire tuition and room and board was paid for purely by scholarships and grants that I received before I got to college. So my first year I didn't have any loans, and that was not even on I did of course have scholarships, but that was not necessarily on the scholarship I do have now, which pays for everything. So I say get that. And when you are in college, even if you don't do internships, be involved on campus, because again, employers do know that sometimes, especially if you're a sophomore or a junior, you may not have had previous experiences, but being involved, if that you have leadership on your resume and just attending different conferences and doing different things and just being involved in campus, that also is a big help when it comes to them hiring, because a lot of them can train you. And of course, you're taking the courses that they do need to get the job done. But if you are involved and they see that you do try to participate and be involved, then it makes a big difference.
That is so true. I want to thank you, Lana, for coming on, and
No problem.
hopefully other people will see and hear the importance of the internship or the co-op, depending on what kind of school you go to. And I want to thank everybody for listening. Please, please, please encourage college students, high school students to start doing internships, volunteering, leadership roles, so that they too can prepare their resume for what they need to do. Remember, give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Thank you.